Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining us for another video. Today we have the unboxing of this Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, quite a mouthful for a smartphone name. This is a phone we have been looking forward to sharing with you for a long time. It's true that this device was announced quite a while ago, but we're finally able to have it here on our channel for the corresponding unboxing and full review. As we can see, it comes in a beautiful presentation box which is completely sealed. So let's proceed now immediately to remove the seals. Let's take them off or break it to check the contents of this box. It feels like a pretty heavy device, a very heavy box, and oh wow, what a strange and peculiar way to present the device. Well, on the one hand we also like it because it is protecting the smartphone by using this cardboard that contains the manuals and other elements as a shield. Like a kind of cushion or a kind of protection for the smartphone, which I really consider to be quite appropriate because generally we always see that the smartphone is presented immediately to the user when removing the top cover of the box. As you can see, here are the manuals and warranty policies that we always recommended to read, and also comes the silicone protector that is always appreciated to have it. Of course, for protect our smartphone, that is very important. Okay, let's go to the start of the show, the phone. But hold on a second, looks like someone's already been playing with this phone. It seems that this unit has already been opened. It has already been reviewed and it's quite damaged as we can see it. There are some scratches on the camera. So well, we are going to continue doing the unboxing anyway because as you already know, these units are sample devices. Therefore, this device has already had to be used for another medium or another kind of test, such as resistance test, to see the resistance or durability of the smartphone and its screens. Let's keep going through the box. Look at this, a huge 120 watts charger that is quite heavy, and we appreciate that Xiaomi and Redmi still consider continuing to deliver these devices with the corresponding useful and necessary accessories for the product to work correctly. It also comes with an excellent 1 meter extension charging cable, well constructed and quite robust. As you can see, this box is packed with a cool stuff. I love how they protected the phone by putting it behind the manuals. It's a unique way to do things. We continue with the unboxing and we go directly to the device, and we already see something that catches our attention. We see two important things. We see an infrared sensor and a speaker at the top of the phone. And on the right side we see the buttons for both the screen lock button and the volume buttons. While on the bottom we see another speaker, a USB Type-C port, a microphone, and a slot for the SIM card trays. The left side is completely flat. If you look at the back, or rather the spine of the phone, it has this slightly mirrored glass. And on the front, we've got this really nice eye-catching curved screen with Corning Gorilla Victus protection. We'll dive deeper into that in our full review, along with the overall user experience. So, first impressions, I'm pretty impressed with the design. It's got some really cool features. We'll break down the spec and explain why we are so excited to check this phone out. As you can see, the camera module sticks out quite a bit from the body of the phone. That's why one side looks a little higher than the other. The right side, where the triple camera module is noticeably higher compared to the completely flat left side. But I actually really like the design. This matte black color is almost like a slick piano finish. It's really stand out. But unfortunately, as we showed you earlier, this unit has already been used. It's been exposed, and we can see that the camera modules have some nicks and damage. They probably did drop tests or stress tests on it. There's even a scratch on the back. Very sad. We did the usual test of pressing our fingers on the smartphone body to see if there leave prints or not. Remember, we review other smartphones that don't show fingerprints like the Vivo smartphones for example. But with this one, it's the opposite. When we press on the backs of the smartphone, all our fingerprints and human grease are clearly visible. In my personal opinion, those marks make the smartphone look dirty, and the beauty of this matte black gets lost, taking away from the nice aesthetic design. However, it's easy to clean with a microfiber cloth to remove all that dirt. But really, if you don't use the silicone case or want to use it bare, it's going to look pretty dirty. You can tell this is a pretty hefty smartphone with a solid feel. It's weighs 205 grams on our scale. And it really feels heavy, but at the same time, it gives off a sense of security and sturdiness. Let's put on this TPU case, and we can see that it's perfectly fitted cutoffs for all the components of the smartphones, like the infrared sensor, which we also talk about in the review, the speakers, and so on. I actually really like this case. It fits the smartphone body really well, and I love how it feels, especially around the screen edges. Unlike other smartphones with curved screens, where I've seen that the silicone protection isn't as well fitted and can sometimes get in the way when you are using your fingers along the screen edges for gestures like sweeping left or right, this silicone case doesn't give me that issue at all. So, where's the downside of this silicone case? It's the camera module. It leaves a lot of open space, making the camera modules quite exposed. You can see that from these nicks on the camera lenses, probably from drops the phone took even with the case on. The cameras are still exposed because of that big gap. But still, I really like the silicone case. In fact, I love how it feels in hand. It gives a sense of security, has a non-slip grip, doesn't show fingerprints, and the color is quite attractive, not the usual light or transparent color. Let's compare it to the Honor Magic 6 Lite, for example. That one comes with a transparent TPU silicone case, but it's not as thick as the one on this Redmi Note 13. In fact, this one is much thinner, and I can easily separate the silicone case from the phone's body. Plus, the corner protection isn't as sturdy. There should be put more protection in that area. So, I really like the protection on this Redmi, especially the corners. After all, when a smartphone drops on a corner, it usually dies right away. See how hard it is to separate the silicone case from the phone's body or screen. But the only major issue I see with this silicone case is the camera modules. There's a pretty big gap there. That big gap might be why the phone fell in cameras weren't protected, causing those scratches. With the silicone case on, it weighs 224 grams. It adds a little weight, but it's not a big deal. Alright, let's quickly go over the specs of this Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus. As you can see, it's got a shiny finish, but the plastic back picks up fingerprints pretty easily. However, this phone is IP68 water resistant and comes in white, black and violet colors. It measures 161.4 by 74.2 by 8.9 mm and weighs 204.5 grams. The screen is 6.67-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED panel with a refresh rate up to 120 Hz, a resolution of 1220 by 2712. That is a 1.5K display with 1800 nits of peak brightness, dual HDR10+, 100% DCI-P3 color gamut, and Corning Gorilla Victus protections. Under the hood we got a MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Ultra octa-core processor built on a 4nm process, clocking up to 2.8 GHz, paired with a Mali G610 GPU. Now let's talk about the RAM. It's got a whopping 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM, and for the storage we got 512GB of UFS 3. Running the show is the MIUI 14, Xiaomi custom skin based on Android 13, and then we have the cameras. On the backs there is a triple camera setup. The main shooter is a monster 200 megapixel sensor with a 1.7 aperture and optical image stabilization. You also get an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens with a 2.2 aperture and a 120 degrees field of view. And to top it off, there's a macro lens with a 2.4 aperture. Up front, we got a 16 megapixel selfie camera with a 2.5 aperture centered in a punch hole cookout. Audio-wise, it's got stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos and supports up to 24 bits 192 kHz wireless audio too. For sensor, it's packed with an accelerometer, ambient light sensor, proximity sensor, in-display, fingerprint sensor, compass, IR blaster, gyroscope, and X-axis linear motor. Navigation is covered by GPS, Beidou, GLONASS, Galileo, QZSS, and AGNSS. As for the battery, it's powered by 5000 mAh Li-ion cell and supports 120 watts fast charging. And as for connectivity, it's got 5G, dual band Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3 version, NFC, dual SIM, and a USB 2.0 Type-C port. So, as you can see, this thing is a beast. It's a total powerhouse, which is why we have been waiting to get our hands on for so long. The specs on this device are seriously impressive for a mid-range phone. Yeah, it's classified as mid-range, but a lot of these specs are more like high-end stuff. Alright people, so our first impression, it's a really good looking phone. I love the sleek black finish, it's very shiny and eye-catching. But unfortunately, that shiny back picks up fingerprints like crazy. Anyway, that's just a first impressions. Also, there aren't many curved screen phones I actually like, but this one I really dig, especially with this silicone case. The screen is pretty cool, especially with the protection and refresh rate. The camera module looks pretty impressive, really powerful. I will be testing it out in the full review. One thing I really like is the haptic feedback. It's really nice when you interact with the screen and the vibration from the X-axis motor feels great. Alright guys, that is for the unboxing of the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus here on Miscelabros. In the next few days or weeks, we will be sharing the full review with you, giving you all the lowdown on everything we have experienced with this phone. So stay tuned. Anyway, take care everyone, and I will see you in another tech video. Peace out, bye bye.